Today's the day that the catalog is going to be published and the show opens.
Yeah.
There's going to be a demonstration out in front of the... Are you going to go to the demonstration?
I don't think so. I would love to participate in everything down there in terms of going to the show, being in a demonstration. But I really think it's one. I don't want my face in the visual media because of these nutcases. If a nutcase like Dannemeyer can, occupy a position, in governing this country, imagine what's walking around the streets. Anyway, I love that. I like the idea of just stopping today because everything I've been doing for the last week and a half has been towards this day in terms of getting information around, letting a small number of people know what's happening, so that so I felt that I had real protection. It's funny, my real sense of protection came from the community rather than the institution that was representing me. And then that was great. I really love that people made certain gestures to me in support. Let me just describe this. It's a one-page, both sides statement, formal statement. And then it contains a 3-page fact sheet called the 7 Deadly Sins that deals with 7 of the figures that I mentioned in the essay. And it's 7 capsule pieces of history of some of the most reprehensible acts that the 7 individuals committed. And it's Ed Koch, John Cardinal O'Connor, Stephen Josephs, William Dannemeyer, Alphonse D'Amato, Frank Young, and Jesse Helms. Did you say you wanted a juicy quote?
Yeah, do you have any there?
Well, I think here's a good one about the cannibal.
Who?
Cardinal Cannibal O'Connor. Cardinal O'Connor has been whining in the press the last couple of days his hallucinogenic views that if anyone, despite their persuasion, should ignore the teachings, quote-unquote, of the church and contracts AIDS, they have only themselves to blame. This is obviously prehistoric. Most people in this country are not stuck in the year 23 AD. He stated recently that citizens should have love and compassion for people with AIDS. But if you follow his dangerous reasoning in regards to his stance on safer sex information, he would prefer that all people remain at great risk, and then when they contract AIDS, he will shower them with love and compassion as they lay dying. I shudder to think of him prowling the halls and rooms of the archdiocese-run AIDS residences, more aptly called warehouses of death, falling to his knees to hold the hands of dying men, women, and teenagers, and rolling his eyes heavenwards. He, as a representative of the Vatican, is so homophobic in statements and actions that he is promoting violence against lesbians and gays. Our public funds are endlessly spent tracking down serial killers. We at least know where this one lives, so why aren't public officials and the local police doing something about it? O'Connor joins the team of Helms, Dannemeyer, and Bill Buckley, men who seem to have so much trouble with what may be their own feelings of same-sex attraction that they spend their lives trying to annihilate us. Well, fuck you! I got a call from Alan because he happened to be at the gallery, and it turns out that the NEA approached Susan and said, "Okay, we'll fund the show and we'll let the catalog be funded by the Mapplethorpe Foundation." And Susan accepted, and now they're doing a joint press conference. The issues have not been resolved. The issues, the issues of homophobia in government, in the church, in society, the issues of the legislating into silence of homosexual and lesbians in this country, the denial by both the federal government and the church of safer sex information to be made available to people with AIDS and people without, to be able to make, to safeguard their sexuality and ensure safety in their sexual activities. And I said, you can at least say that this is what it's all about. And I said, you're sending a message to every goddamn institution that they have a right to run away from me, and I've already been experiencing it. I've been getting a third party. No motherfucker in this city who's in a museum or whatever will say that to me personally. That they refuse to touch my work because it's precisely what happened. And she's sending a clear message to him that that's right.
So this has a personal dimension, you think, as well as a larger political context?
Of course. No, I mean, this, you know, what I outlined to her was the political context of it. That it is homophobia. It is this. And even in the language of her fucking press conference, you know, speech, even there's evidence of it. That she can reduce all those issues that affect my goddamn life to a paltry sentence like, the issues are not resolved.
Well, maybe...
Okay. Okay.
What happened?
She's crying. She said she's going to say in her statement that this is the failure of the government to confront homophobia in this society. It's a failure of the government to release, it's the legislation into silence of homosexuals, and it's the failure to provide safe sex information to people with AIDS so that they can make informed decisions concerning their, or so that they can make safeguard decisions about their sexuality or practicing their sexuality.
Did she say that to the press?
This is her statement. She's going to thank me from the bottom of her heart for what she's learned. I feel pretty emotional about it.